Hello, knockouts. Okay, let's get this started. Hello, knockouts. Tonya Tko here. And as you all know, I am a self love specialist from TonyaTko.com. I hope you learn how to love yourself and each other. Today, we're going to be talking about something that YouTube really doesn't like to discuss on their platform, but I felt it was important to speak about this. So, hello, welcome. Come on in. Come on in. So, I've been doing a lot of thinking lately. I've been thinking about where we are as a society. I've been feeling this really dense energy that's surrounding us right now here on the planet. And so I'm opening up the phone lines for people to tell their story about coming close to suicide. Was there something that stopped you? Was there a person who stopped you? Was something inside? Did you hear a voice? Did a flash happen? Did something intervene? Did someone walk in the room? Did the door fly open? Whatever the case may be, I'm opening up the lines for people. I'm hoping as a way to be able to remove a lot of the stigma surrounded with thoughts of not wanting to be here on this planet. Me personally, I've been feeling very nihilistic lately with all of the climate change and the extreme temperatures. And you all know that I went to Puerto Rico, and I worked in Puerto Rico after the hurricane, working to help rebuild. And it was a very difficult time. And since then, I've been changed, and I've been having a lot on my mind. And so today I called the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, and I spoke with one of the counselors there, just to, I reached out, and it was amazing. So I want to encourage anyone, if you're having feelings of passive suicide, if you're having feelings of nihilism like me, like what is the purpose of everything that we're doing here? If you're having feelings, you don't even have to be at a point of crisis. You could be in a passive state of wondering why, what is the whole purpose of life, why we're here. You could be in an active state, having already begun to plan. And so I want to encourage you. So I'm going to give you the phone number I put it inside of the description. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline, their telephone number is 800-273-8255. And when you call them, you'll speak with a person who will work with you at whatever stage you're in, whether it's passive or active. And they have different levels of care and intervention and guiding depending on where you're at. So you don't have to worry, like if you're just having, some feelings, right? If you're just having some feelings and you want to vent and you want to get some stuff off your chest, they're not going to send a paramedic to your house or some people with a straight jacket or none of that. They're going to listen to you, and you're going to vent, and you're going to get it off of your chest, and you're going to have someone to talk to who's going to help you find solutions. And so I have opened up the phone lines today for you to call and tell a story about a near experience you've had. The purpose of this is I really want to get people to take care of themselves. I've been sitting here thinking about ways that I could better serve you all. Hello, everybody coming in. And I've been wanting to make videos, but I'm like, because I've been thinking about it ever since I started making those videos about the people who are trolling. And then I started thinking, why do people troll? Why is there such an energy of emptiness existing here on the planet right now? How do we address that? Because it's like, yeah, it's fine to talk about viral videos and to have a good he or ha ha, and it's wonderful to lash out at what other people are doing wrong and what they could do better, and it's great to have a good laugh. But at the end of the day, when you lay your head down at night or when you're getting up in the morning and you're there with your own thoughts, at the end of the day, all that really matters is how are you? How are you doing? Are you enjoying your time here? So me personally, I'm going to spend some I need to get out of the country. One of the things that I've had to come to grips with in my life is that I love to travel. I haven't traveled since the displacement, since the year before the displacement, right? And it doesn't matter if other people don't like to travel or if other people travel because they're running away or whatever. I don't care. I like traveling and it brings me joy. And if we're not doing the things that bring us joy, then what are we doing? So phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. I want someone to tell their story. 323-488-3149. I want someone to call up and tell their story about uh, a near situation that they came to, what they do to. First call is coming through. You are on the air live. You're going to remain anonymous, so you don't have to say your name, but we're talking about suicide right now. So do you have a story of having come near it or having been able to circumvent it?
Yes, I do. Yes,
Okay.
I do. I want to start off. Oh well, I want to start off by saying I absolutely love you and thank you for having this open forum about suicide. I was just speaking to a friend about it last night, but my experience came through my mother had given me away to my father's family because she couldn't
Hold
take
on for
care of
just one
me.
moment. I just wanted to, you're the first phone call, so I just want to make sure that our volumes are okay. Because I
Oh,
would,
okay.
so everybody, I need you to put up a number 2 if you can hear her fine. Put up a number 3 if you need her to turn it up, and put up a number 3 if you need her to turn it up. Put up a number 1 if you need her to turn it down. Okay? So, okay, so they're saying they can hear you fine. Okay, perfect. They hear you good. So go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm a 36-year-old nurse. I became a nurse when I was 22 years old. My suicide attempt did not happen until I was an adult, and I tried 2 times.
Mm.
I was 22 years old. I finished nursing school. When I graduated, me and my girlfriends decided that we were going to go to Mexico, Cancun, and have a really, really good time. And they have booze cruises. Is basically where you can just drink yourself into the ground, and they take you on this like island off. When you get on the boat and you get off on the island and you can drink as much. And one of my friends passed out and had alcohol poisoning,
Oh
and I
no.
immediately went into shock as into, oh my gosh, she was throwing up on herself, and nobody would help us. And
Mm.
we were asking, guys were just coming past, like looking. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this man comes and picks her up, puts her over his shoulder, and walks us to the infirmary. Now, me just graduating as a nurse, I kind of, knew to just keep her on her side and get ice and make sure she has water and make sure she's alert. Just
Mhm.
keep her, open. And I ran into him again the next night, and it was just a coincidence that I thought he was attractive, and we exchanged phone numbers. He was from Texas. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And from there, I had started to visit him. As young, dating, he was a little bit older than me. And after 2 years of visiting him at least once a month, I decided to move down there and take a temporary contract as a travel nurse.
Mhm.
And when I got down there, we had a great relationship. We never even argued. One day I was in my bed and I was just laying there halfway naked with bottoms on, and all of a sudden I get a call from him, and he and I never even had an argument. He comes in the house and was like, he calls and says, when I get there, where were you at? I said, I went to dinner with, my friend, her name's P. I'll call her P because I don't want to give out names or anything like that. Basically, he came in the house and he said, I'm going to ask you one more time, where were you? And I'm laying in the bed and I just laughed. And the next thing you knew, I was across the room. He had punched me across the room in the floor. into the dresser, and he just continued to beat me, to beat me, to beat me. So I got him off of me, and it was just basically we were squaring up. He knocked me down, but he never knocked me out, and he beat me like a full blown man. The first day, the next day afterwards, I woke up. And he was laying next to me, of course, because I didn't know what to do or to feel because I moved down there for him. I didn't have any family. And I went back to sleep, and when I woke up, like about a half hour later, I went to go look in the mirror, and I screamed because my face was as big. My eyes were basically kind of swollen shut, and I thought it was just because I was a little bit leery. And I go out, and he's crying in his mother's lap. I had an awesome job and things of that nature. I said, but you know what? It took me 8 months to sneak. I had to sneak out. I had to act like I still loved him. I had to live with him. I had to do everything we used to do in order for me to sneak out. And I finally told my family, I said, Mom, he beat me. I need to get home, and I need to get home now. She was on the next plane going. I had all my stuff. We packed my car with as much stuff as we could, and we drove home. And when we drove home, when I got home, I tried to hang myself in my closet.
Why?
Because I felt like that was my dream. I had always wanted to move down south. I was the girl that always wanted to be married. I was the girl that wanted to grow up quick and have 4 children and a husband and, a career. I just wanted the whole thing like it was a big fairy tale. I was very sheltered. Like my biological mother left me with my father's family because she was out doing other things. And my father's family was very affluent. They had money. So they never even asked was I for a DNA test. My family was color struck. They're brown, and I am very yellow. So to them, my great-grandparents were like, we don't need a DNA test. She's ours. Because I was light-skinned with nice, curly, thin, pretty. You know that the stereotype that back in the day, that brown paper bag test. Mm-hmm. I am like the color of, I'm lighter than Beyonce. I'm lighter than Beyonce. I'm about her mom. I'm even I'm probably lighter than her mother. I'm a Alicia Keys like looking. Yeah, that would be me. Curly hair, light like that. So I tried to hang myself because I was young and I thought that I would never get that chance again. And I just roamed and roamed and roamed, and I went from relationship to relationship, moving in with people that I would know for 2 months and just basically not knowing where I was going in life. I grew up in the church. My father was a pastor. My grandfather was a judge. Okay. My great-grandfather.
So wait, let's get back to the attempt because
yes.
I want to be able to keep the direction of the call going in a way that can be most useful to everyone.
Yes.
So you went and you made the attempt. What was it that stopped the attempt?
What stopped the attempt was my hanger, my bar in my closet wouldn't work. And my mom I kept trying, like I was too heavy. And the rope, I said I need to get a bigger rope. So I got a bigger rope that had rhinestones on it. And my mom was in the other room and she heard a tug. And she knew, she was like, what's going on? She knew I was in a very deep depression. She knows how to pick locks really fast. She picked my lock. And the next thing you know, she found me and she grabbed me by my feet. And because I had gotten myself up enough where I could probably pass out from it, but I wasn't able to hook it. But I finally was able to, and that's when my mom was like, she heard a really big tug, and she picked that lock, and she basically got me down, and she was crying and screaming, saying, all this over a boy? All this over a mother effing boy? Like, my mom is very blunt. And she's the type of person that this, when I speak of my mother, let me clarify this. This is my aunt. She's my dad's sister.
Okay.
She took care of me from the time my mom dropped me off at 4 months old.
Okay, so she got you down, and you said that you tried twice,
That was the first time, yes.
and
The
then
second
mhm.
time I tried was because it was the same thing, but it was years later.
Okay, and so what was it that stopped that time?
I knew I was going to really probably die because I'm a nurse and I overdosed on Lortab, and that's Tylenol toxicity. And when I started to throw up, I said my liver's going out, and I told my friend to just drive me to the ER because I was like, oh my God, like I'm about to really, this is really happening, and I can't turn back now. But at least maybe they can help me be at peace about it, make me comforted. No, they gave me the antidote. And
Okay.
they even said that maybe it wouldn't work.
And
And it wasn't
so
working
and
then.
so what was it that so how many years ago was that attempt?
My son is 6, and it was 6 years. It was 6, so that means it was 7.5 years ago.
Okay. And so what was it that made that your last attempt?
I got real help. I got help. I was able to say, Mom, like I was so scared of what people thought of me. I grew up always scared of, even as an adult, of what people thought of me. I wasn't. So it was just like I finally got to the point where I was like, Mommy, I need help because I can't do this by myself. And
Okay.
she said, okay. And she drove me to the nearest ER, and I talked to the social worker, and I had some inpatient rehab, and then I had outpatient rehab, and I still continue to see a counselor to this day. But I do not have, um, I'm in that state where you said I'm wondering why I'm here.
Mhm.
But the more I pray, the more I'm noticing maybe what my purpose may be.
Okay. And so when you say you had inpatient care, so that means that you were taken into a facility and you were held there. How long were you there?
I was there for 10 days.
Did they give you
I was there for 10
medication?
days. Yes, they did. I was on initially, oh,
Well,
man,
no,
that
the
Lexapro.
so no, no, please don't state the names of any medications
Oh,
during
okay.
the
I'm
call.
sorry.
No, it's okay, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
So they gave you medication, and then now
Hmm.
are you on pharmacological care now? Do you have a psychiatrist now?
Yes, I do have a psychiatrist, um, but I am only on, um, I do take a anti-anxiety medication.
Okay. Okay. And so what are your thoughts on having an anti-anxiety medication that you're going to be on, I suppose, for the rest of your life?
No, I was on double the dose. I'm tapering down
Mhm.
and learning how to use the coping skills, and probably going to be in counseling for a pretty long time. I would definitely say that.
Okay.
That's something that's helped me a lot.
Okay. So you were on, so 7.5 years ago, I suppose they gave you more medications than you actually have right now.
Oh yes, definitely. I was about on 5 or 6.
Okay. And then so over the years, you've been able to kind of supplement out
Mhm.
the pharmaceuticals for other things.
Yes, I changed my nutrition
Mhm.
a lot.
Mhm.
I'm almost a full vegan.
Mhm.
Not quite yet, but I'm very close. That's something that's a goal of mine. I've learned how to use different herbs,
Okay.
and even before all of this things that was going on with Dr. Sadie,
Mhm.
I was following his this alkaline diet. That's why I say I'm almost vegan, because I've been doing his alkaline diet for
Okay.
about trying, integrating
Okay.
it into my life for the last 8 months.
Okay. Well, you
So
know
yeah.
what? We appreciate that. If there's anybody who has any questions, you can type them out below. And we appreciate you. We appreciate you calling in. I've learned some things from the conversation. And so, how are you doing now in terms of suicidal ideation?
I definitely wouldn't do it. I have a 7 year old. No, he's not six. I have a 6 year old son, um, and he's my world. And I realized the only person that can fill that gap is you. I had to dig down deep and say, well, if this would have happened, that would have. Listen, you don't know what would have happened. I just thank God that He didn't take me,
Okay. And
because
so,
I wasn't ready to take care.
question
Yeah.
about the so you'd always wanted to be married and all of that. What are
hmm
your thoughts about that now?
If I get married, if that's what God wants, then I'll get married. But until then, I'm fine being by myself. I actually am enjoying the time alone. I am not dating right now, and I love the time to just sit and meditate on situations that may happen and how I can do things better. I read self help. I read books novels that can just be regular, suspense novels, and also books that can help me. And one of the ones I really feel is The Four Agreements by his last name is Ruiz. I can never remember. The
Okay.
Four Agreements.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I've
yeah.
heard of that book. Well, you know what? We appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for your bravery. And I'm
Thank.
glad that you're still here.
All right. Thank you for having a platform for this, and I thank you for taking my call.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Oh, all right. Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay, the phone lines are open. Um, the phone lines are open, and if you so Cassie says she has a question. What is the question, Ma? If you have a question, just type the question in the box. You are on live with Tonya TKO. You are anonymous, so we're talking about suicide prevention right now. Do you have a story about near suicide?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So it's kind of.
let's start at what it was that you did to take your life.
The first time was hanging. The second time was also pills.
Okay, and who stopped you the first time? How was it prevented the first time, and the second time what happened?
Well, it's the same story. My best friend walked in and stopped me. Like I was literally on the floor, like rope, about to pass out, and he took it off my neck and like made me breathe and stuff.
Okay, and so how long ago was the last time?
The last time was actually last year.
Okay, and so what help have you gotten since the last attempt?
Like doctor wise, nothing, but I've been meditating and just studying.
Okay, so you've been meditating and studying. Okay. And does the thought ever come back to you? What's happening with that?
Honestly, no. Like I do get depressed, but that thought, I can't do it. I have too much on the line to actually do it now. I
So
didn't see it before, but I see it now.
what was it that has happened between last year and now that has changed your point of view?
It was just actually seeing everything. Like I was so closed-minded, I just saw problems. But upon like meditating and praying and not drinking, I actually saw the beauty in my own life. I saw what everybody else saw.
Okay. All right. And so if the idea comes back to you again, what will you do?
Um, that's a good question. I haven't like really thought about it in like a year. But I guess like meditate on it and like work out. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, I will tell everyone that there is a National Suicide Prevention Hotline, which is 800-273-8255. And so if you have any type of thoughts, and for you, caller, if the thought ever comes back up, know that you can Google the National Suicide Prevention Line. They also have a text number in case you can't talk out loud where you could just text them. Okay?
Okay. Yes. But it's like for me, it's like personally, it didn't work for me. When I called, I felt worse. I felt like she was just used to it, nonchalant. Like, yeah, dude, you're gonna be okay.
Well, and you call, when was the last time that you called them?
It was before last year,
Okay. When you say before last year, you mean
before the attempt last year. Yeah.
okay, before the attempt. Okay. Well, and I'm glad that you brought that up because that's a really good point. So, if you get a counselor on the line that is not working for you, hang
Mhm.
up, call back, and get somebody else on the line. At the end of the day, you have to do what it is that you need to do to save your life. And if speaking to a different counselor on the phone will do that, hang up and remember everybody has a different style. When we talk to human beings are going through whatever it is that they're going through, and then so you do what you need to do for your life before you start planning it out of what it is that you're going to do to yourself, before you start getting those ideations in your mind. And even once you do what it is that you need to do. Okay, Ma?
Yes. Thank you.
All right,
I
thank you
love
so
you.
I love you too. Thank you so much for calling in.
Alrighty. Later.
All right. And so remember, suicide is permanent. There's no coming back from that. So if you're going to leave, if you're thinking about leaving this earth permanently, do what you need to do everything in your power to stop that before you go that route. Okay? So the phone lines are open. It's 323-488-3149. And so, Leanne, yes, you can call in, and you don't have to say your name. You just speak and let it off of your chest, and release what it is that release what it is that you're going through. And remember, we're here. I'd like to hold space for you. However, always contact a trained professional. And so we have limitations here. I have limitations. And so the telephone number for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 800-273-8255. If somebody can copy that and paste it in the comments, that'll be great. It's also in the description of the video. It's 800-273-8255. You're on the air live.
Hi, Tonya. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. So,
Great.
what is the relationship that you've had with suicide, suicidal thoughts, attempts?
Yes, my whole life I've had thoughts. They're like dreams. I can see myself actually like light or cutting my wrists and like being in the bathtub or hanging myself, and they're like dreams, but it's when I'm awake. And I've never understood it my entire life until I did go to therapy and I did get on medication. So it's happened. I don't know why. I don't know if it's genetic or I've been diagnosed with depression, and it's just when it feels like, I'm in a deep hole, and I physically can't speak. I don't want to leave my house. I feel like everybody would have a better life, if I wasn't on this earth anymore. I get to
Okay.
the point where I feel like, everyone is in a worse place in their life because of me. And I know now that's not true. That's something I played in my head, for some reason.
Okay.
It's,
And so you said that you've and so there are people who want to share the broadcast, please invite a friend, tell them to come over, especially if you know there's someone who may be going through something and they just need a safe space to be with other people. We're just talking anonymously here, and the phone lines are open. So you said that you used to have these dreams and you used to have these visions of you in a bathtub after having hurt yourself, and then but you've
yeah.
never made an attempt.
When I was younger, I had taken bottles of pills, and I luckily have woken up, but I never told anybody or anything like that until after I was working and I caught my fiance red-handed cheating on me, and I turned into a different person. I physically assaulted him, threw all the clothes outside. Just horrible. But after that, I was having visions of myself hurting myself when I was awake. It was like a dream, like a
Okay.
movie.
And so you said that they have that you're on medication right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm
Hold,
40
hold on,
now, and that happened when I was
hold on for just a
22.
moment, please. I'm so sorry. Listen,
No, you're fine.
if you're playing in the chat room, like I see somebody who says that they were too fat to hang themselves. I don't think that those types of things are funny. Either you're going to be an adult and
No.
be serious right now, or you're going to get a timeout. After 3 timeouts, you're banned. All right. So play with it. Play with it if you want to. Okay. But we're having very serious discussion right now. So who is it that gave you the medication? How did you come about getting this medication?
I went to, my neighbor actually recommended me to go to a psychologist because they could not give medication. So I knew that and it was a female, and I knew that her goal wasn't just to give me medication. So after I did go to her, and just, I thought she was going to put me in the hospital because of my thoughts. And she said, because I haven't, I was 22 at this time, I'm 40 now. But she said, because I knew what was real and what wasn't real. I had 2 small children to live for. I wasn't in the state right then to kill myself, and I did go get help.
So what was
But
it? What was the impetus for you even going to your neighbor to talk about it?
she actually was with me when I caught my ex cheating, and then she helped me, get out of bed and function again. And her husband was actually going to the therapist, and I didn't want to get on medication. I didn't. And when I went to the therapist, I just didn't. I couldn't think anymore. I could hardly even speak anymore. I was like paralyzed, mentally paralyzed. And so she had recommended me just to try the medication to see if it, did help, calm down the visions and, just make me smile and be able to talk to people again. I've never been hurt like that before in my life, that was
Okay.
my high school sweetheart. But it wasn't just him, it's happened since that time. I've
Okay,
had
so
these visions since then.
question. So you said
Yeah.
that at first you were hesitant
hmm
to being on medication. And so what is it that made you decide to try, and how did your life change as a result?
Well, they have such a stigma against especially being so young, late teens, early 20s, you don't want to be considered crazy. You don't, especially being a single mother, I didn't want that, to be held against me if I went to court. So when you're young, you don't understand that if you don't get help, that can be held against you. They
Okay.
can't hold, getting help against anybody. That's
Okay.
really against the law. So I just had twisted thinking, and I wasn't putting myself first. I was trying to satisfy everybody else instead of taking care of myself first.
Okay.
So
All right. And so
that's what I had to learn to
how has
do.
things changed for you since being on medication?
Well, I've tried a few different medications, I mean, it's a learning process and now they can do a DNA test. It's just a swab, and they
Mhm.
send it in to see what medications work with your DNA the best,
Oh,
and
nice.
which ones would benefit you with the least amount of side effects now, which I didn't even know was possible. But they can tell if you have arthritis. They can tell if you have cancer just by a swab in your mouth now, and what
Nice.
medications you should take and what you shouldn't
Who
take.
did the swab for you?
So my primary care doctor.
Okay, do you know what this swab test is called? Because I've never heard of it before, and I'd love for people to be able to ask for it.
It's a DND test.
Okay, DND.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
It's just a
perfect.
DNA test, but it's whatever the initials DN. The DNA is like a DN diagnosis, or something like that. Yes, but it was very helpful. And
I'm
4 years
doing,
ago.
I'm so sorry. I'm doing a Google search for
No.
that right now, and I don't
Uh
see
huh.
DND. You said David, Nancy, David.
That's what I think it's called. You can type in DNA medical test, and it shows up. It's like genetic.
Okay, unfortunately, I'm seeing a bunch of 23andMe, and I know that's not it.
No,
Okay,
yeah,
well, you know what? I
genetic
see something that says,
medicine test.
all right, the six best DNA tests for health. All right, well, you know what? I'll tell people to just ask their doctor. If there's,
And the insurance
uh-huh.
does pay for it. Your insurance will pay for it. And if they won't, you can call the company directly, and it goes by your income. But if you don't make enough money or a lot of money, they'll pay for it for you.
Yeah,
So,
but the issue is that we're not that I'm not finding it. I'm looking, and
yeah.
let's see. There's nothing that says DND, and so I would love to be able to give people the best information. I just clicked on one of these websites, and it's talking about
Right.
23andMe, the Mayo Clinic. So it's
Mm,
like, I don't.
yeah.
So you know what? Why don't you?
Yeah, I can look it up and I'll put it in the chat. I'm not looking at it right now,
Well,
so
if you want to remain anonymous in the chat, I mean, if you want to post it in the chat, that's good. If you don't, you can
no,
always. Okay, cool.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, well, you know what?
But
When
I
you
did, yeah, I did. I had a plan completely to. I had a plan to go and hang myself and all this stuff 4 years ago. I'm physically disabled. I was fighting with my family and everything else because they didn't believe I needed my medication or anything like that. And then I found out I was pregnant. So things happen for reasons. And I'm now 40 years old, so being 38 and getting pregnant, physically disabled, was not in my plans. So sometimes things work out when you least expect them.
okay,
But that's all I just want to say. You just never know.
all right. Well, you know what?
So
Thank you so much for calling in and telling your story. Thank you, and I look
you're
forward to seeing
welcome.
that. Um, in the comments. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, and I hope you feel better too.
Oh, I do. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
All right, bye-bye. And so, doing phone calls like this definitely makes me feel better about helping to raise the universal vibration, about helping to get people to open their minds, to talk out loud, to assist themselves. These types of things make me feel more connected to all of us, to the universal energy. And so the telephone number for the National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 800-273-8255. Again, 800-273-8255. You call them up, you talk to them, you can vent to them. They don't send anyone to your house. Depending on which stage you're at in terms of the thought about not wanting to be here anymore. So the telephone number to call in is 323-488-3149. Again, 323-488-3149. The phone lines are open. And remember, first of all, this broadcast is not intended to be a circumvention to getting qualified mental health care. Make sure that you speak to your primary care physician. You can also find yourself a psychologist, a therapist, someone to talk to who can form a relationship with you and give you the care that you need. There's the suicide prevention hotline. When you call them, they can help you find solutions to where it is that you want to be and where you want to go in life. Okay? And so the phone lines are open. If there's nobody else that needs to call in, then we're going to jump out of here. I appreciate everybody who has called in and opened up. Right now, we're talking to different people about the journey that they've gone through with different thoughts about not wanting to be here on earth, what stopped them, what solution was put in place, and how life has been since then, as well as whether or not there have been any other thoughts. So I see that there are people, hey everybody, I see that there are people in the comments right now. You can tag a friend, you can share someone, share this video. Right now there are 80 people in the broadcast and there are 49 thumbs up, so make sure that you thumbs up the video. You can close out the chat area in order to be able to give the thumbs up. That really matters for the YouTube algorithm. So you are on live right now. We're talking about suicide prevention. And so what is your story about not about whatever it is that you're dealing with or had dealt with?
I recently lost my mother, so I've been thinking about it every day. I tried one day because she had a stroke, so I had to take care of her here at home.
Mm-hmm.
And
so people can't hear you. If it's possible for you to speak up, please do.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Can y'all hear me now?
That's a little bit better. So go ahead. So your mom had a stroke and you were taking care of her and she recently passed away.
Uh-huh. And so, I'm sorry.
No, take your time. Take your time. It's okay.
I kept her medicine and stuff, and they were giving her these patches for her pain, and I was just so frustrated when she passed because I had never seen her sick and a day in my life. So, and when she passed, I have an autistic brother who I have to take care of now. He's an older brother, but I was just felt so overwhelmed that, and so I called that hotline and I told them that I was thinking about just putting those patches on me.
Mm-hmm.
And they sent the police to my house, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But the officer was very nice. He talked to me about losing his dad, and they did end up taking me to the center, where I signed myself in, and they kind of like started started me on some meds, and I didn't like the way they made me feel. I didn't like it, and plus I had to get home, to my brother, having no one to take care of him but me. So I just told him that I felt better, and I started going to this grief counseling. I recently just stopped, and now I still struggle with it every day. So.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts for rising out of this situation, out of these feelings?
I do not know, Tanya, because I've never felt this feeling in my life. Like I've lost a lot of people. I've been through a lot in my life, a lot. I've been to prison twice. I've been stabbed. I've been shot. I've lost a lot of friends to the streets. I've been through a lot, but like this right here is like a pain. Like I never felt this pain every day. It's hard for me to even want to go outside. I don't really go anywhere. It's like the whole world is like a dark film over it. It's not the same no more since she's gone. And so I don't know what to do. I don't.
Okay. Well, you know what? I take my hat off to you for having for listening to the wiser part of yourself that had you call into the suicide prevention hotline, and also listening to the part of yourself that had you call in today. Okay? So congratulations on listening to that wiser part of yourself, okay?
Yes.
And it's very brave of you to talk about what it is that you're feeling. And of course, anybody in your exact position would feel the exact same way. Anybody with your exact background, your exact genetic makeup, your exact life experiences would feel the exact same way that you feel right now.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
And so you said that your mother had these patches of medicine. Where are the patches now?
When they came, the cops, I gave them to them.
And see, so that is the inner wisdom right there, acting out through your life. You gave up the patches. You're calling to get help. So you are continuing to put one foot in front of the other. I don't want to talk about myself, but when my mother died and I was 19, I didn't see the vibrancy of colors for years. So when you say a dark film is over the world, I felt something similar. I had a gray film over my whole life. And I used to imagine opening up the car door while it was driving and it just jumping out onto the highway, just letting the cars
Yeah.
overtake me. I used to have visions like that, you know?
Yes.
And I mean, it's a difficult thing, this human experience that we have, the connection that we have to the human who gave birth to us is a really strong and powerful connection. And this
Yes.
whole life just seems so crazy, but you do want to live. And so you are doing things to continue to take the steps. So
Yes.
when you get off of this phone line right now, I want you to call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline again.
Yeah.
I
Okay. I don't know because
well,
I start talking and I just tell everything, and then people beating showed up at my door again, Tanya. Now I can't.
well, you know
But I'm
what?
gonna be okay because deep down I know that I have to go on for my brother. He has no one. If
Well,
he can't. I mean, I know I have to, live. I have to live also for her, and there's other things for me to do. I believe in a higher power, and that I know that my mom she just went on. You know what I mean? That body, it was just a vehicle for her. We're just driving these vehicles, and we do go on. I believe, and so I believe that, I will see her again. I can feel her. I smell her all the time. I'm still in her. I'm in her room right now. So I can feel her. It's just I don't know. It's just like this world now.
Yeah.
I really can't. It's not the same. But I don't want to promise you that I'll call. But if I begin to feel like that, which I do every day, it's an everyday struggle throughout the day. I promise you that I will call if I
No,
feel
well,
like that.
we're going to wait. We're going to wait for you. We're going to wait for you to call, and then I want you to follow back up with us after you call. We're going to stay on the line, okay? Because there are a lot of people who want to call in. So we're going to stay on the line. And you know what? When you call them, right? It's only when you are actively in the planning stage. Like when you called them before and you said, listen, I'm about to put these patches on myself. That's when they sent people to your house. But like I said, I just called them today. And, and I was able to vent. I was able to cry. I was able to release. And I was able to just let everything off of my chest. All of stuff that I don't get a chance to tell people because I don't think people really understand how much climate change and the destruction of the planet is really affecting certain people. Like it's really affecting me.
Yes, it's affecting us.
And you know what? And some people think that what I'm saying is stupid, but
No, no, no. The earth is alive, and so you know.
yes. So why don't you do this? I'm going to wait for you to call back in after you talk to them. So go call them, vent and get what you need off of your chest, right? And then call me back and let us know how it was, okay? Oh.
I can't hear you anymore. I
Well,
don't know if y'all can hear me, but
well,
I
well,
can't hear
can
you
you hear me
anymore.
now? I touched the microphone thing by mistake
But
and it
I'm gonna
came
go
out.
call them,
Yeah, call, vent, say, get off your chest what you
and
need to
then I'll
get
call
off,
you back.
and then call me back, okay, Mama? We'll wait here for you. So right now it's
Okay,
4
thank you. I
p.m.
still can't hear you, but I see you
You
talking
can't,
and watching you on
you
the
can't
screen.
hear
But I
me?
love you so much, and thank you.
Oh, hold on, you can't hear me? Oh, she couldn't hear at the end. Okay. You all can hear me, right? Hold on, let me see if can you hear me?
Yes,
You can hear me.
yes.
Okay, perfect. Because the last caller, it ended, and she wasn't able to hear me because the microphone came unplugged, and then I plugged it back in. But you're on the air live, and you are anonymous. We're talking about the feelings of suicide, overwhelm, anxiety, all of those things. And so, what is your relationship to suicide
I
and suicide?
feel been feeling like that for days. I have insurance. I got frustrated because they give me a listing. I call these places and they're like, "Oh, we don't have an opening until July," and it's like, wow, you know. But at least I do have other numbers you can call and just vent in the moment.
Yeah.
But I was calling because I've been feeling like this for a long time because I'm in such a situation. And what made me call was the caller that just hung up.
Okay.
Her story reminds me of my story. She took care of her mom. Her mom passed away. I had my mom for 9 years. She had like 4 or 5 strokes. She was bedbound. She got custody of my nephew when he was freshly born. He had drugs in his system, so my mom got custody of him. So by the time he was 2.5, I took him in. By the time he was 5, I got my mom because she had 2 more strokes after I took him. So I'm very grateful and I'm happy that I was the chosen one. I used to wonder why me? But I'm very thankful that I was able to take care of my mom for those 9 years. And it hit me so hard like this young lady. I ended up going to therapy. They took me off work for 6 months because I couldn't handle the process that she was really gone. And we didn't have a great relationship. But it was a relationship that I always wanted with her. But I seen the struggle for us to be mom and daughter. But I knew she was a great mom. She was a great provider. But she wasn't The communication wasn't there. I never felt loved by her. But I loved her. I know she loved me. I think it was something she was dealing with. So after she passed in 2003, I adopted my nephew when he was 9. He's 30 now. My daughter, I have biologically a daughter of my own.
So then what is it that's creating these feelings inside of you right now?
I just feel like, oh my God, what is my purpose in life? Just to be a care provider? I've been taking care of people since I was like 17, 18 years old. I've always helped my mom. I always provided. You know, I worked. I kept a job. I couldn't even finish college because I wanted to make sure my mom was okay, that my siblings below me, under me was okay. And I just felt like here I am, 57 years old, and I can't grasp a life of my own. You know, and it's, my daughter's 29, and I have a 5-year-old granddaughter. My daughter moved out first time in her life 2 years ago, and she just moved back home in October. And I just feel like, oh my God, where is my life? You know, I don't have my friends. I moved away because of certain circumstances. So it's like, where am I going? Where am I heading? What is my purpose here? Just to take care of people? Just to take care of people. And people are like, oh, your responsibility is not to take care of your granddaughter and da-da-da-da-da. It's so easy said. People always want to give you advice to do this, but they don't show you how. They just tell you what you need to do.
Yeah.
You should just back up and let your daughter handle it. That's not easy. I've been with this baby since she was one day old, 1 minute old. She, you know, I just always been there. And it's like, oh my God, I don't have any friends. I have 2 great best friends. But, you know, because I moved away, I feel like I'm so freaking alone. I'm just being alone. You know?
So what are you doing? What are you doing to enjoy your life? What activities are you participating in? What are you doing?
I don't have the activities, honey, because it's like, okay, I finally decided to try to put my son in a day program. So right now he's supposed to start next week, but they said, is it possible he can start next month? I said, okay, fine. So May 1st, hopefully he should start this new day program. So he'll be gone from 9 to 3. I take my granddaughter to school. She doesn't get home to, get out to 2:35. So it's like in between that time, it'll be me. I just went to the gym this morning and got a membership. But it's like, that's a start. I know it takes little steps or whatever, but however, it's like, I feel so alone here, and I'm a homebody, but I feel alone,
Okay, so question, what is it that's making you feel alone?
Because I don't have anybody to talk to, and I don't want to talk to anyone about what I'm dealing with. I just want to talk about life, even if I'm not enjoying the moments that you guys are enjoying. I just want to sit and talk about it and listen to your stories. I don't have no adult.
So when was the last time? Tell me about a time that you were able to talk with adults in the ways that you've wanted to talk with them. Tell me about that time.
2013.
Okay, and what was different in 2013 than now?
I had a partner. We celebrated our ceremony 2010, and it seemed it was going okay, and then, my daughter was in the mix. When you have adult children in the mix, it just shakes the whole household. So we finally gave her, option. You got to go or you got to go somewhere, do something, go back to school, get a job or something. Finally, she ended up going to South Florida for a year and a half. She did great from 2010 to 2012. Then we get a phone call. She's pregnant.
Okay.
Then she comes home. 6 months later, 4 months into her pregnancy, she ended up coming back home.
Okay.
Our household started rocking really bad. Until her 7th month, she had a meltdown. She had a 5150. I didn't know it at that time.
I don't know what 5150 is. Is that a
Is when you
mandatory?
have like a nervous breakdown, depression. She was so depressed. I took her to the hospital one night because she was so depressed. They said a person is so depressed longer than 2 weeks, they need to seek a physician. So I took her into the hospital and I explained to them what's going on. She told them she was having stomach problems. When they took her up there to check the baby, I told the nurse, it's not that. She's depressed. All she does is cry and sit in the corner all day. Something's not right with her.
Mm-hmm.
And after she had the baby, before she had the baby, we kind of talked her into going to get therapy. She went and got therapy. They said, I thought she was bipolar. They said, no, she's not bipolar. My daughter said, Mom, the lady said, she think I have a borderline personality disorder.
Okay.
I knew it was something because the girl is she's smart as a whip, but she's all over the place. She can't keep friends. We collide so much. And that's what bothers me. She rocks my world. She turns my world upside down. My partner used to say, when you have some issues going on, it affects the whole household. It's not just you going through it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, now she just moved back home in October. I don't have my partner. That's gone. That's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the last.
So do you feel that her coming back home destroyed the relationship with your partner?
Well, we had our own little, like normal relationships have. We never argued or fight, but we had our disagreements or whatever. But she added to it. Let's just say she added to it. And it made it more, and quite naturally, because it's just being me and my kids for 20 plus years before I met her, my kids were my life. So I didn't know how to choose. I'm like, I can't put my daughter out. She's pregnant. I can't just say, get out because you disrupted my household. So I felt caught up in the middle.
Okay.
So
yeah,
again, I keep choosing my kids over my relationship or my life, period. And it's like, it's crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy. And then she'll say things like, you're not here for me. You don't, you never, did this for me. I've done everything for my kids. Everything they needed as a single parent, I provided. I think I was a hell of a good provider.
Okay.
I did the best I could. I didn't have traffic in and out of my house. I didn't have parties. I didn't do drugs. I made sure my kids was on the up and the up. I was born and raised in L.A. I took them out of L.A. and moved to Palmdale when Palmdale was a really nice city.
Okay.
That was the best move I made. I sold my house after my mom died. We moved to Georgia to start another new life. Everything I did, it was for my kids. It wasn't for me. When the kids are happy, you're happy. But it's like, she's 29. And if I say, this, you got to go, or this not working, and you got to save up so you can get your own, she's going to take my grandchild away from me. I can't live without seeing my grandbaby. I've been there since day one. So I feel like I'm caught, and nobody has the answers. I don't know. She's 5. She'll be 6 next month. I'm the one who has done everything for this baby. I take her to school. I take her to the doctors, because my daughter is unable to because of her working hours.
Okay.
And I don't have a problem with that. But I don't want you to use her as a pawn. So when I get to the point to say you gotta go, it's enough. I can't do this no more.
Okay,
Don't
use
her.
So you said that often you have the thoughts of not being here on Earth anymore. What is it?
I've been feeling what's the point? I'm not winning here.
Okay, so you one of the things that you said is that you don't want your granddaughter to leave, right? And then also you are also hoping to be able to find a life outside of being people's caretakers, correct?
Right, yeah.
Okay. And then so not being here on Earth anymore, how does that solve the issue? Because if you're not here on Earth anymore, you're not going to be with your granddaughter anymore either.
Exactly, and I know that. It's just a feeling. When You
Okay.
call these people and they ask you, do you feel suicidal? Or have you attempted or whatever? And I said, I feel it, but I don't believe I'm going to do it. But the thing is that I've learned over the years is that when people say they feel it or they just think it, it's true. But you don't know
Mhm.
what's going to trigger the reality of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's you don't know what's going to trigger. People don't just say, you know, a lot of people say, I just wish I died. They don't mean that. So
Mhm.
something deep can trigger that into reality to make it action instead of just words. That's what fears me because I want to be blessed. My grandmother lived long enough to see me have a grandchild. I mean, a daughter, and she saw my grandchild. But
Mhm.
my thing, I want to be blessed too. I don't want to leave this earth, but sometimes I just feel like I can't do this no more. I'm not winning. But then I look at my granddaughter, and you know, I can't do this to her
Right. So
because
let me
I
ask
know she
you.
needs me. My son needs me. Who's going to take care of him? I can't rely on my daughter.
Okay. So what's the middle ground? So
If I knew the middle ground, I can make this happen. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe once he gets into a program, maybe I can have a little more time to myself to breathe and to try to figure it out. And, you know, I hope I can come to something because I feel like, gosh, I've been struggling with this depression thing since I was 11 years old. I've been going to Kaiser from Kedron's in LA on that line. I've been, you know, and it's like, when does this stop? It's like a roller coaster.
okay. So then all right. So this is what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is that you have two children who are dependent on you, your daughter as well as your son.
Yeah.
And so you said your son is how old?
He's 30.
He's 30, but he has special needs.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
he's going to be going into a day program soon.
Yeah. Adult day program. Yeah.
Okay. And your daughter, she's working.
She works. Yeah. She's going to work now. Yeah.
What are her thoughts about moving out? Does she not want, you said you and she clash, so what are her thoughts about moving out?
Well, it's supposed to be temporary. It's supposed to be temporary to save her money to move out because she was out on her own for a year and a half
Mhm.
and she was having heart problems. So what I did was I was tired of helping her put money into this old car. So I said, look, I'll put a down payment on a car for you, a reliable car.
Mhm.
So we went and did that. So I knew she wasn't making enough to cover car payment and rent. You know, if that's the case, then she would be able to pay me child care, which she can't.
Mhm.
So I said, just come on back home, stack your money, and maybe, hopefully, by June, you'll have enough money to move out and get the ball rolling again.
And what are
You
her
know,
thoughts about that?
she was just like, okay, because she really seemed to enjoy being on her own. Because that was the first time of her ever having her own place. So it seemed like it was cool, you know. And so we can't communicate because I can say, you know, hey, how's that bank account going, Mom? I'll be out soon. That's not what I asked you. I'm just like,
Okay.
if I was living with somebody, I'd be like, man, I'm saving my money. I'm stacking it. It's looking good. That's all I wanted to know. Is it looking good? You know, I'm not saying leave, but she takes, you know, my partner used to say, you have to listen to what they're saying and not what you're thinking, what they're trying to say, because if that's what they wanted to say, they would have said it.
Mhm.
You know, that's what I meant. So it's like, I can't seem to ask you nothing without you assuming it means something else.
Okay.
So it's like, oh my God, I'm just tired. You know, nobody can live with me ever again. I'm sorry. I get you a hotel room, motel room. I can't do this no more. I can't do this no more. I'm Captain Save everybody. I'm always want to save everybody. Come on, you can stay with me for a little while. You know, I've done it already 3 times last year. And I'm like, okay. I can't do this. After she vacates, there's no more. I can't do it.
And so what do you
You know,
so how close in proximity do you want to live to your granddaughter?
the last place we lived like 12 minutes apart.
Okay.
But my granddaughter, 9 out of 10, she's going to still be here, and that's not a problem. She went home on the weekend because we like the school that's around, because I live in a really nice neighborhood, very nice school. We want her to stay there. So she would probably stay with me like she did before and go home on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I don't have a problem with that. I just have a problem with not appreciating what I've done and what I do.
Yeah, but it sounds like and correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like, your daughter being there is kind of cramping your style. You are not really able to have adult conversations where it doesn't have anything to do with caretaking. And you want your daughter to move out and get her own place, but part of what's stopping you from wanting her to get her own place is that she's going to take her child with her. Is that correct?
Yeah, sort of. But I don't have a problem. If she wants to take her, that's fine. I'm still going to see her because she wants her to continue going to this school as well. So I don't have a problem with that. I'm saying like in 2015, we got into a big argument because we were living together. She moved out and took my grandchild into another city. I didn't see her. So, to try to hurt me, you're going to use something that you know is going to destroy me or hurt me to the core by removing her away from me. Now, her moving into her own place and taking her daughter with her, that's fine. It'll take a little adjustment for me as well as my granddaughter. But at least it's not like you took her away where I can't see her or, you just not going to let me see her no more. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that part I have to adjust because that is her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
To take away from me from anger and because you mad at me, it's going to get ugly.
Okay. All right.
So
Well,
that's where my frustration comes from because I'm tired. I'm really burnt out. I'm burnt out. So, I went and I tried to get help last week, the week before last, and I was just getting the runarounds. And finally they called me on Friday and they said, you know what, it's going to cost you this, and that because we don't have this available. And I'm like, I have insurance. And she was explaining to me all this red tape stuff, and then she says, you need to call your insurance. They need to find you someone. That's what you pay them for. Instead of them having you speaking, they need to do it. So my primary doctor, my personal doctor, just put me on something temporary until I get this done over here. So she already given me something, which, it's going to take about 2 to 3 weeks for me to even feel a change.
so when you say giving you something, you're talking about medication?
Yeah, she gave me some medication to, balance, my mood swings and all this chaotic stuff, that I'm dealing with.
Okay.
Because it's been crazy.
Okay. And so I think that's a good move. I think it's a good move. So you said that you've been talking to your primary care physician, that they've recommended some mental health professionals for you, but that they don't have openings until June, July, correct?
Yeah, July.
Okay, July. All right. Well,
they told me to call my insurance people and have them finding somebody sooner, not give me a listing. They need to find it because she said you pay them. This is their job.
And so question.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we would hope that your insurance company would find a place for you. However, they gave you a list. How many people were on this list?
4.
There were only 4 people on the list. What about broadening the area so that maybe you're looking in a neighboring city?
I don't know. I mean, they did this to me last year, and every number they gave me was so far for an appointment. appointment, we're talking 2, 3, 4 months. And then when you on the edge, you really like on the edge. It's like you can't wait. That's why so many people just go ahead and do it, because it's like saying, they always say, call this 1-800 number, call this 1-888 number, and da-da-da. Call.
So why don't, yeah, so listen, did you call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline?
They get another number, which you did know. You was just you talked, and you talked, and by the time you got the phone, I was fine.
Okay, so
I came home.
why don't you do this, right? Why don't you do this? There are a few different things that you can do, right?
Right?
I don't know what city you're in, and please don't say because you're anonymous right now.
Okay.
If you're able to get a broader list of neighboring cities, neighboring areas, because only 4 people on the list sounds like a small number. So broaden the area, get some more names on the list, and continue to make phone calls until you find somebody who is able to see you sooner. Call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. The telephone number is 800-273-8255. And not only speak to them, but talk with them about whether or not there's maybe some sort of intermediary person or persons that you can speak to, or different groups in your area. There may even be, because you have an adult special needs child. They may have support groups in your area as well. They may have meetups so that you can go and you can talk to other adults. That way you can talk to other adults in your same category. You can talk to other adults with a non-related meetup. You said your son is going to be in care now from a certain time in the morning till the afternoon. And so you can use that time to really take the steps necessary to do what you need to do to save your life. So even if it involves making a few extra phone calls or going out of your way, I congratulate you for continuing to take these steps. Just continue to take them some more. Okay?
Oh well, thank you.
All right, and I want you to follow back up and let us know how that goes. So you can call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline right now, 1-800-273-8255, and you can talk with them and see, what services they have available to kind of fill in the gap until, because we have 2 months until July. So we have May and June. Okay?
Right.
So let me know how it
now.
goes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so the phone lines are open. We are waiting for that young lady who we're waiting for the young lady who called in, and she was going to get off the line to call the suicide prevention hotline, and then she's going to call us back. So we're also waiting for her to call back. The phone lines are open. The telephone number is in the description of the video. Right now there are 80 people on the line and there are 72 thumbs up. So close out the chat area and click the thumbs up. And you can call in and talk about what has been going on with you in terms of feelings of not wanting to be here, feelings of overwhelm, etc. And remember, this broadcast is not an attempt to diagnose or treat anyone. This is an open space for you to talk. I encourage you to call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline if you're having ideas about not wanting to be here and those sorts of things. So 1-800-273-8255. And when you call them, they don't automatically send someone to your house. You don't have to worry about people showing up at your door. Depending on where it is that you are in terms of suicidal ideation, they will have a solution that is geared towards where it is that you are exactly. So if you are in the process of making an attempt, they're going to do everything that they can. Caller, hold on for just one moment, please. They're going to do everything that they can to stop you from making that attempt. However, if you're in the beginning stages of passive suicidal thoughts or ideation, call them, vent to them, find some resources in your area. Okay? So you are on live with Tonya. Talk to us.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, fine, thank you.
I wanted some advice because I'm like overwhelmed. I don't even know how to go about this. I was like 16 years old when I went into DHS defects care, and I was pregnant at the time, and my mom went on drugs or whatever, and I went through like three group homes and 9 foster homes, and the thing about it is like they gave my mom like 10 drug tests to pass in order for her to help me get my son, and she didn't even like try to help me get my son back or anything like that. They had like
They're
nine.
saying
They
they
had
can't.
like
I'm sorry. They're saying they can't hear you. If you could talk up just a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I went through foster. I went through 3 foster homes and 9. I went through three group homes and 9 foster homes, and while I was pregnant, and the thing about it is, when I got to the last group home, like DHS, they like tricked me and told me, you get ready to go see your mom. Now I haven't seen my mom in like 3 years after I
Mhm.
had my son or whatever, and it came down to the point where when I got to the DHS office, they stated to me, well, we can't find you can't go with your mom, and we can't find a foster home for you and your son to get placed in. So they had like 6 police officers waiting to split me and my son up. Like, it was so crucial. I've never seen it happen. They didn't even give me time to try to get my son back or anything like that. They instantly signed him over into DHS care.
Mm.
And like my mom is like, she she blames me for it. Like, you was the one that was on drugs. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
she don't have no communication with me. Like, I'm 29 and I got like 3 other boys. I got 4 boys now, and I'm
Mm.
29. And the crazy part is, like, I've been reaching out to my mom. Like, I know, like, when you're a child, you do messed up things and everything. But when my mom went on drugs, you know how you a child and you never seen your mom or anybody go through what they went through, and it kind of disappoints you. Like, you don't have that person supporting you no more, or telling you what's right and what's wrong, and they're just off and doing things they know that's wrong or whatever like that.
Yeah.
It like bothered me so bad. So it led me, like, when they took my son, I dosed up myself with 22 pills, and I couldn't stop shaking. My teeth, my eyes, my legs, my arms, my eyes,
Mm.
everything. I just knew if I fell asleep, I knew that I was going to die. I went through like 4 packs of cigarettes. I stayed up and everything, and the only thing that really got me, like, it's like I prayed for, like, I was lost for 5 years. Like, I was escorting, I was dancing, I was doing everything in the book because my mom threw us out. My mom threw me out when I was like 15 years old. She threw my little sister out at 12 and my older sister out at 17. So it's like, it bothers us that, being in the black culture, or just being black period, that be the first thing that a parent does when their
Mhm.
child is acting up. And I feel that a lot. That's not
Mhm.
me just saying that. It happens to a lot of my friends that are
Mhm.
black too. So it led me to think, like, once I get my kids, I never throw them out in the world. And you wonder why, like, a lot of white people, they keep their kids in the house and teach them how to manage before they throw them out, or help them get a crib before they actually leave the house.
Mhm.
And I wish that would have happened to me. So now it's like my mom blamed me for her marriages and everything like that. I'm wondering, like, why would you blame me for your marriages? So it led me to go back to both of her ex-husbands and her boyfriend, and I asked them, I said, I'm sorry for ruining your marriage with my mom. Like, I didn't mean to do that. And they said it wasn't your fault. You was a child. You just seeking attention for your mom. You was a child. Like,
Mhm.
my mom, she hit me with tapes, like DVD, like VCR tapes, like threw me down. Like, it was stuff. You know how a adult would do things in front of a child, and it leads the child to do it and reenact what they seen an adult do.
Mhm.
I was one of those kids because my mind was so messed up. I don't even know, like, that's why I had to ask, like, was I mentally, like, something wrong with me mentally? Because I reenact everything that I seen somebody do in front of me. And my mom ended up beating me with tapes. like strip me down naked and everything and beat me down between my legs. I still got like marks and everything on me, and she beat me like for about an hour and some change, and threw me in the other room on the floor and told my sisters go in there because I think I beat her bad. And it's like I didn't even want to be touched or anything like that. Like it was bothering me. Period. Like it was it was just too much. Like it was real bad. And I'm like, how do I go about this? Because it's like you want a relationship with your mom, you want a relationship and everything. I haven't seen my son in 10 years. I've been praying for 10 years, and I just finally had the urge. Like after I've written it down and I put it on my wall, my prayer wall, and I asked, and I decided and told God, like, this is very personal. I want to see my son, and I want to make sure that he knows that it wasn't my fault what happened or anything, because you don't expect the kid to come up to you and be like, oh, you just gave me up, you quit on me,
So,
or
Mike,
something like that. But
I'm curious. I'm curious. So you were 15 when you had your son, 16,
yeah,
and you were in the foster care system.
yeah,
And then they tricked you one day and they told you, oh, you're going to go see your mother. They brought you down to some room
yeah, yeah.
and then they separated
And
you
they,
from your son. So we're talking about your first son.
yes, my first son.
And so, well, first, let me just say thank you for your bravery and coming out and speaking out loud about this. It takes a lot of courage, and so I admire that. So thank you for your bravery and speaking up. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So they took your son from you that day and they signed him over to DHS. And you said you've been trying to get him back since then. What has stopped you from being able to get him back?
It was more life because, you know, when I was down in Georgia and they did it, it was so quick that when I say I was lost for 5 years, I was lost because I kept trying to have a baby. The reason why I had him is because I knew what my mom was doing to me throughout my life. I knew I was getting love, and I knew if I had a child, I would have love. Somebody would depend on me for it, or just give me love back, and I wouldn't have to worry about anything. And that's what he did. He gave me love. So for 5 years, I was lost. I didn't have that. I went to dancing, escorted, doing anything. I didn't have nowhere to go. By my mom putting me out there, by her being lost too. I didn't have nowhere to go in Augusta to the point where I was laying down with whoever just to have somewhere to lay my head. And it was so scary to the point where I'm just like right now I can thank God because I'm not I don't have HIV and I don't have AIDS and I don't have herpes, I don't have gonorrhea, I don't have any type of STDs. I just thank God that I don't have any of those things, that He protected me throughout all those years of me laying down with whoever just to lay my head somewhere and just crying because I knew me being 16 doing that, I knew that it was scary. Almost died twice doing it because I just knew I felt that like I was escorting one time and I was in a hotel room and it was a dude, for some reason, I was, after he got done and he paid me, I sat there, with my knife up under the pillow and dude was just standing there, not putting on his clothes, and he was just slowly smoking his cigarette like the Matrix. That's how he was slowly smoking it. And I'm like, you finished? Like, dude, you can go. And the whole time he just standing there like he wouldn't even put on his clothes. But the only thing that I knew that I felt was something standing between me and him. It was so real. It was so spiritual. I don't know what it was, but I felt the energy. I felt the presence standing right there. Like, for some reason, dude couldn't touch me. He couldn't touch me or anything. I felt like he wanted to reach over. He wanted to grab my neck. He wanted to kill me. I kept seeing it. I kept seeing it over and over, but he just wouldn't move until my friend came and knocked on the door, and she was like, are you good? I need to use the restroom. I'm like, okay, cool. She came in. Dude started putting on his clothes, and I started crying out to her, like, I thank God you came in because dude wanted to kill me. I could feel he wanted to kill me. Like, for some reason, I knew. I used to walk around at 16 years old with my mom black leather coat on with 6 knives in my pocket. just walk around because I used to
Hold
run
on,
away
hold
from
on. The
they
phone.
took
Hold on. The sound went out of the Bluetooth. Let me just check and see what's going on. Give me 1 second, okay? It went off. Give me 1 second. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's back on now. So I didn't know that it did that. It just cut out on its own. Okay, so you were saying you walked around with knives in your pocket, but the question
All the
was
time.
what happened when you tried to get your son back?
He the only thing about it is they told me that you gotta get a job and you gotta get an apartment. Okay, the only thing about it is I ended up getting an efficiency apartment. I paid 150 a week, but the job part was a stripping job. Either way, it was a job, but they still wouldn't give them to me. They wouldn't give them back to me. They wouldn't at least let me try within that same week. They told me that it was um, they somebody had told me, well, he's going into the system, and they signed him over. It wasn't like it wasn't my it wasn't my agreement or anything. They just signed him over, and I'm like, hold on, okay, hold on, no, don't put, because they had like 10 foster parents lined up ready to take him, and I'm like, no, hold on, I know somebody that'll get him. I just need to make sure that I stay in contact with him. The only person that I knew that'll get him is it was a staff member in the group home who fell in love with me and my son when we first got there. She fell in love with us. And when she fell in love with us every night she came in when he would cry, I didn't even know, like being in the group home, they teach you independency. They teach you how to work, go to school, put your son in daycare, how to take care of your household, do everything. They teach you independency. Like I called her up and I was like, look, I need for you to grab my son. I know ain't nobody gonna love him like you is, and I know that I'll be able to still stay in contact with him. Can you please grab my son for me? Because I can't have him get lost in the system. He everything that I have. He's my heart. Like, and she went and she got him. She went and she got him for me. When she went and got him, I was grateful. Like, I was so grateful because I knew how much like every time I got in trouble in the group home, they'd call her and she'd sit right there and tell me, you need to get yourself together. I told you have to do what you got to do so you could get up out of there. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm sorry. I don't mean to act up in front of y'all. I just never been away from my mom like this. Like, my mom could have helped me. Like, don't
Right,
blame me for your marriages.
I'm confused. I'm trying to understand what happened over the course of the 10 years that has stopped you from being able to get back with your son.
I ended up once for those 5 years that I've been lost ever since he got taken. For 5 years I was lost. I was dancing and stuff. I ended up pregnant again, and when I ended up pregnant and knowing that me being in Georgia, I was like, no, I can't even stay here because they gonna probably try to do the same thing to me again, and they ain't got no house, ain't got nothing, no car, nothing down here. So let me move out of this state to another one, and that's what I did. I moved to another state to get myself together, to get myself back right. I ended up getting pregnant two more times, and I ended up like somewhere else. Even though he's, with the person that he's with and everything, I still stayed in contact with him. And
Hold on. For some reason, the volume is going out. Hold on. Hello?
yes, ma'am.
Give me just 1 more second. I'm trying to turn this Bluetooth back on. It keeps cutting out. I think it's overheating. Because it's hot out here in
Okay.
California. Okay, so you're back on now.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
so you know who has him.
Yeah, I know who has them, and I have contact and everything to be like after I had situated and prayed for so many years. I finally found the opportunity to went and go see him, and it was a spiritual thing. It was
Okay. And so right now, so what is it that has you on the verge of not wanting to be here anymore? It sounds like things are moving in the right direction. Hello? 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 There's no sound. It looks like the call is still connected, but I'm not hearing any sound from you. And my poor Bluetooth is overheating. You know what? I have an ice pack. I could put my ice pack on it, but I can't hear anything from you. Try turning the volume down on the speaker. You know what? Let me try to disconnect from the Bluetooth. If I try to disconnect from it, maybe it'll come back out through let me turn it off. Okay. What about,
Hello?
yeah, I hear you now. So I turned off the Bluetooth. Okay.
Mom, it's like every girl's dream to want to be, have a relationship with her mom. And my mom, it's my mom.
Right. You know what? I understand that. So listen, the suicide prevention hotline, did you take down the phone number? 800-273-8255. You know what?
Yes.
Call them because you're most likely, have you ever spoken with a therapist before?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay, and what happened with that?
I wasn't able to continue having it because I moved.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to try something else because I have another Bluetooth device. It just won't be the loudspeakers. But just bear with me for just one moment because I have like a little handheld radio that has a speaker on it. Hold on for 1 second, please. I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening right now. Okay, hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Mama. You know, sometimes things happen and the Bluetooth keeps cutting out. And I have this little speaker right here that I can play, but the battery on it is dead. So I'm looking for the charger real quick. But can you hear her through press 1 if you can hear her through the computer speakers. Press 1 if you can hear her. Press 2 if you need the volume to be up a little bit more. So give me just one moment. I'm so sorry. You know how you have like I don't know how many other people have like a crate full of plugs and stuff, because I know I do right now. And I'm looking for the.
It's fine, ma'am.
um, and you said you're from Georgia, right?
Yes, I'm from Georgia.
That's why you calling me ma'am, I suppose. We don't have those type of etiquettes up in New York. We don't have those.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I just know obedience. When I read my Bible, I just learn obedience from it, you know.
Okay. One more second. I gotta go back and see if I see a plug in the other one. Oh my gracious goodness. You know, it's hard to find something the moment that you need it, but when I don't need it, I bet you'll be sitting right somewhere in front of me. Oh.
I was just looking for advice on why my mother is not in my life or my boy's life, or why she doesn't take to me after all these years.
Well, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. sometimes, so her question is, so people who can't hear her, you know what, while I'm doing this, let me put my ice pack on top of the stereo to help with the cooling of the Bluetooth, okay? And then I'll answer that question for you. Give me just 1 second. I'm putting the ice pack on now. This is so crazy. All right. Okay, perfect. So the ice pack is on it. And then so hopefully the ice pack will get this thing right. Okay. So her question is why doesn't her mother want to be a part of her life or her son's life, right? So that's the question. And so this is to you and to anybody else out there. I think we sometimes we assign stuff to our parents that are far greater than what it is that they actually are. Hear me out, right? Um when you had your child, you weren't perfect. You said that you became lost for 5 years and you were escorting, you were dancing, you were living dangerously, you were practicing self abuse, right? So you weren't perfect when you had your child. Having a child doesn't make a person a higher being, it doesn't make a person a guru, it doesn't make a person uh, better at doing life. It just means that the person knew how to have intercourse and and then they waited, and then after a certain amount of time a baby came out, either out of them or somebody else. And I think we have these ideas about what a mother should be, what a father should be. And then after we start to grow and get older, we realize our parents are people. Why doesn't she want to have a relationship with you? She's a person. And the type of person that she is, she's dealing with some stuff going on the inside of her that you may not understand. But on a spiritual level, and you sound like a very spiritual person, you have chosen this woman to represent as your earthly mother. And so you have to take the time to realize, why did I choose this woman? What was it that I was supposed to get out of this relationship? So it's like, so now you're thinking about it from a lower space. And for those of you who haven't pre-ordered my self-love book, this is part of what it is that I talk about in the self-love book. So go pre-order that today.
Yes, ma'am.
You're thinking about things from this lower space of, why is this happening to me? Why is this person doing this to me? Why is life showing up for me this way? Instead of really touching base with this higher energy of yourself that chose your mother, that had your sons choose you, that protected you inside of that room that day, that has provided you with a higher intelligence and higher wisdom. So all of those things are contributing to where it is that you are. But at the end of the day, your life is speaking to you. Mommy Ellis says she just sent me some money through Cash App. Thank you so much. Because my niece works on my website and I pay her through Cash App. So when the Cash Apps come in, I'm able to pay my niece for doing website work. So I really appreciate that. Because I promise you, I was just thinking today, I was like, oh, how am I going to get money on my Cash App? So thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So when all is said and done, at the end of the day, our parents are people. They're people. And we chose them. So let me ask you this question. Why do you think you chose your mother? What is it about having a mother addicted to drugs, who averts blame, and what is the overwhelming lesson that is here in all of these situations for you? What is that overwhelming lesson?
It just makes me, to be honest with you, it just makes me love my kids even harder.
Okay. So in one instance, it makes you have a greater love towards your children. Okay, what else? What are some other reasons why you may have chosen her as a mother? And if you hear this shuffling, I'm just looking for the cord
Um,
to So go ahead. I hear you. I'm just looking for the cord for the Bluetooth. Go ahead.
One reason I chose her as my mother is because the fact is, like, our personality, like, by her having 4 kids and me having 4 kids, we are we are just alike. My
Okay.
mom had 4 kids and I had 4 kids. I felt like we had a bond. I felt like me and her would communicate on some levels. Like, if you didn't like me when I was young or when I was little, or you hated me because I looked like my dad, I'm pretty sure by me having boys now, and you'll learn to love me even more, knowing that I'm not who you probably thought I was when I was young.
Right, but you
You
know
know,
what? But here we go. You're still looking for something from your mother. You're still looking
I
for
just want love. I
right,
just want acceptance.
but what if that love never comes from her in the way that you think that it should? What if that love never comes? What will you do? What will you do? Because it seems like you're living your life hoping for this love, but what if the love never shows up in the ways that you think it will?
It'll break my heart.
Okay, and then how do you continue to live on with a broken heart?
I just, I don't know. I just stay. To be honest with you, I stay in my Bible. I stay in my Bible because that's where I learn love, and that's where I learned not to even think about it a lot.
Okay.
I go to church a lot. I go to church a lot. I
Hold on
take
for
my
just
boys to
hold on
church
for
a
just one
lot.
moment. I'm gonna try the Bluetooth again now that it's cooled off a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
It feels cooler. Hold on. Oh. Okay, so it's on. Let me connect the computer. Let me connect the computer to the Bluetooth. Give me 1 second. I know I look a mess over here. I know it does. But give me just one moment. Let me turn this Bluetooth back on so we could get you back on the speakers, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, the Bluetooth is back on. Let's see if it connects. It says connected. Okay, say something.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, we got you back on the speakers. Hopefully it'll stay on this time. Okay. So what if you cuz listen, you can't control your mother. We can't control other people. The only people we can control is ourselves, you know?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have this vision of talk to me about this vision. What is it that you envision is going to happen? What is it going to look like with your mother? What is that going to look like?
I just see what I wanna see. Um, the laughter.
Speak louder,
I see
speak louder.
laughter. I see laughter.
Uh-huh. What else?
I see laughter. A bunch of love and a lot of playing. That's my personality. I like to laugh. Anybody that know me, I like to laugh. I make you laugh over something that's so serious, and then something that's just a
Right.
joke, but I'll be so serious about it.
What is it that you envision between you and your mother? What are you
Just
imagining is going to look like? How will you know when you're there?
wish she said she sorry, because
Okay.
I apologize every day for years since I was young. I apologize every day to her. I even talk to her voicemail and she don't even answer. I message her on Messenger when she look at it and I still laugh and apologize to her. I message her
Right.
and talk to her through her text and she still don't message or anything like that. For the 8 years I done had my kids and everything, I'm just reaching out to her and she don't say anything at all, but you have relationships with my other two sisters and I'm wondering like why me? Why not me
Okay.
too? Why not
Okay.
me and my kids?
Well, you know what? And so this is right here, right? The type of support that you need is far outside of what can be provided on this phone call. You are
Right.
experiencing developmental trauma from growing up inside of a household where you were missing the basic tenets of parental love. When a parent doesn't love their child, they grow up into this. When a parent doesn't show love to their child and doesn't let their child know that they're safe, etc., they grow up with these divots inside of them where they attract people to act out these realistic dramas where they don't
Yeah.
love us, and then we continue to seek and search for this love so that we could then get our parent to love us through this person. So you are
Right.
going to have to find yourself a therapist. Call the National
Yes.
Suicide Prevention Hotline. Get them to give you a recommendation for a group in your area that you can meet with, for a way to get a therapist, because you are going to need a way to begin to heal that trauma. Because it's like,
Yes, ma'am.
you know how, let me ask you, think of a time in your life where you thought something to be true, and when you found out that it was not true, your whole perspective changed and shifted. Think of a
Yes,
time.
ma'am.
Think of a time, whether or not it was Santa Claus, whether or not whatever it was. Name a time where you thought something was really, really true, and then when you found out
Yes,
that
ma'am.
it was not true, there was a shift or something different that happened. Name a time. Tell me what that was.
When I called my mom's husband and I asked them, um, was I the cause of their marriage being broken,
Uh huh.
and they stated to me that I wasn't.
Exactly.
And
So hold
that's
that
what.
thought, hold that thought right there. Hold that thought right there. Okay. So you once thought that you were the cause of your mother's relationships breaking up. And then you went
For
and
years.
right, for years. And then you went and you talked to these guys, and the guys were like, "No, what are you talking about? You were a child. You had nothing to do with that. Yeah, you wanted your mother's attention, but that's what children do. You were not. This was a relationship that existed between adults. Don't carry that around." So, in the same way that was a paradigm shift for you, the way that you feel about your mother, the way that you're blaming yourself, why doesn't she want me? Why won't she love me? What's wrong with me? Right? You need a
Yes.
paradigm shift. And the type of paradigm shift that you need is you're going to need somebody who's going to be able to work with you one on one to be able to assist
Right.
you in shifting that paradigm, because once you learn the truth, it will shift how it is that you feel on the inside. Okay, Ma?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. Make sure that you have some sort of insurance, whether it's Medicaid or whatever, and get yourself a
Yes.
therapist. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so you have a really great evening, and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel with the notifications turned on so that you can come back out and give us an update on how everything is going. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. You have yourself a blessed day. Thank you for speaking with me.
Yeah, thank you for calling in. Thank you for having the courage to speak out loud and seek assistance. And congratulations on continuing to seek assistance. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you have a great day. All right. So, as you know, we're having technical difficulties. If you see all these wires and cords beside me, because our Bluetooth had gone out, but we left it off for a little while and then we got it to come back on. If there's somebody else who wants to um, call in. The phone lines are open. And for everybody out there, listen, this broadcast right here is is not an attempt to diagnose, prognose, or do any of those things. You must speak with a qualified medical professional, mental health professional. Speak with your insurance provider. Get referrals for a therapist. Call if you're having suicidal thoughts, especially if you've begun imagining or envisioning how you would do it. Get on the phone with the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. I put the telephone number in the description. And the telephone number is 800-273-8255. Call that number, speak with somebody, work through what it is that you're going through on the inside. And we're still waiting for the call back from the young lady who was going to call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. She was supposed to call back in. So and so Kara is saying it's so hard to reach out for help when you're in the thick of it. It is. It is. And hence why it's important that when you have the gumption to be like, you know what, let me help myself. When you have that gumption, act on it. Act on it right away. You're on the air live.
All right, I'm doing a call back.
Hi, okay. So
Okay.
are you the young lady who was getting off of the phone? Are you the one where the sound cut out at the end?
I'm the one with the struggling with the granddaughter.
Okay, did you call them?
Yeah, I spoke with them.
And what happened?
Well, he was like just explaining, what they're there for, and it's pretty much just to vent. And he was saying, you can call your insurance and try to get them to do another listing, or I can call 211
Okay.
to get some information, and they can give you, numbers of different programs or groups or find insurance that, other facilities that can carry your insurance or, things like that. But he was making it clear, like, he's just there to allow us to vent and, whatever your thoughts are.
Okay. And how did it feel to speak with him?
Being that it was the first time I ever spoke to a guy, it was okay. I was comfortable, which, I just told him, when I feel this way, or I don't have a problem, I seek help.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not afraid to seek help.
Okay.
So, I will be making calls in the morning.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that.
Make a call.
Make
Yeah,
make
so-
sure that you stay in touch so that we can get an update on how things are going. And I congratulate you for getting and making the steps that you need to get the assistance that you need. Okay?
Yes, and I thank you for what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
It's still your love. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling
Thank
in.
I'm still connected, so I'm going to continue watching the show.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. And for those of you who want to support the show, who want to support me and my ability to be able to make videos, make sure that you go over to my website, tonyatko.com. And in the shop area, you can download a complimentary copy of the Relax MP3. It's a hypnotherapeutic MP3. I am a certified clinical hypnotherapist, and I've created MP3s to assist you with navigating and working through some of the issues that you may be going through on the inside. So go to my website. You can pre-order my books there. You can pre-order the self-love affirmations book. That's what helped me get out of my displacement and be able to rise onto the other side of that. I see that there's some calls that were missed, but please do call back in right now. The phone lines are open. There's a little bit of a lag between the computer and the actual phone line, so it is open right now. My Cash App, PayPal, and all of that is in the description area. And you can Cash App me if you're feeling so generous and you want to support the show. Best way is Patreon. You can contribute $1 a month. If 50 people gave $1 a month, that would be $50 right there. And that would assist me in being able to create content like this. Because videos like this cannot be monetized by YouTube because we're talking about mental health and it's not a sexy topic. All right, you're on the air live.
Hi, Tanya. It's me. The one who got cut out at the end earlier.
Oh, wonderful. You have to talk up a little bit.
I called the people and they gave me like some grief counseling groups near me. And like they also had recommended me back to the crisis center in my town, which I had already been there, and so I didn't want to go back there. But they recommended me to some grief counseling groups, and also just like some numbers. He said there's a site that where like you can FaceTime a therapist, because I told him I can't really get out to go and go to therapy. I can, but I have to take care of my brother. So when I'm gone, like all I do is worry about him. I can't really get into the therapy and stuff.
Okay, so how are you feeling right now? Where's your mental state at right now?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I feel better talking about it, and I was watching the video for a while and listening to the last caller about her mom, and man, that really touched me. If she's listening, I wish I could just tell her that in the end, none of that stuff that will matter, you know. And if she could, just please forgive her mom, because in the end, I didn't have a perfect relationship with my mother either. But in the end, like when she was finna go, and you like, none of that matters. None of that matters.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you. I hear you. I think hold on. And it looks like the phone flipped over. Hold on. I don't know why it flipped in the middle of the broadcast. That's interesting. Okay, so I think with her, I think she has forgiven her mother. I think she has to forgive herself. That's where I think
Yes,
her issue lies. I think she has to forgive herself.
you're
So
right.
because she's constantly apologizing to her mother, and she has to. So this. So everybody's mental health journey is different, and
Yeah,
everybody's life and the way that they're navigating is different. And so one situation can seem the same from the outside, but on the inside the two different people can need two very different things. And so for her, I think one of the biggest things is forgiving herself, and then being able to create a life where she forgives her need for needing certain things from her mother, and for you in your life, you have to there's definitely some areas of self-forgiveness there, where you have to
yeah,
forgive yourself for any number of things that you're holding on to. Okay,
yeah.
so what is your next step from here?
Uh, my next step is just, I just have to take it one day at a time. I'm not gonna lie, like I don't even have a plan.
Okay.
I'm just taking it one day at a time. I pray every day, and I read my Bible, and that's really you know, helping me.
Okay.
Other than that, it's a struggle, but you know, I just keep going.
All right. So what steps? So they gave you some. They gave you. You said you didn't want to go back to one of the places that you've already been to, but
Hmm.
you're going to go to the grief groups tomorrow. Is that what you said?
It's not tomorrow. It's Friday, but it's a grief counseling. They have it every week, every Friday.
Okay. And so
Uh,
you're going to go to the grief counseling and then speak with a grief counselor, or is it like a group thing?
yeah, it's like a group thing. That's why I really kind of don't like those things, because I don't like being around a lot of people, because I'm not used to it anymore. I've been in the house for so long.
Okay. Well, you know
But
what? The thing about it is that we never know what may lead us to where. So you tuned into this broadcast that led you to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. You called them, they led you to the grief group. And so, you know what? Just feel that feeling on the inside of what it is that you need, and the universe will open up a way for that to come into your life. Okay?
yes,
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling back in and following up. We really appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tonya. Love you.
I love you too, Mama. Keep your head up and keep putting one foot in front of the other.
I will.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Okay. So we had an amazing broadcast. Um, let's see. We're all a work in progress. Always think positive. Yes, 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 yes. I'm a little bit reluctant for us to give advice to one another because the advice that we give to other people is really advice that we need for ourselves. So we might as well give that advice to ourselves. You know what I mean? So I appreciate everybody for coming out. 211 uh nationwide. Well, you know what? In some states it's 211, in other states it's 311. But it's the basically the toll-free number to get assistance. So try, if you're in the United States, try 211 or try 311 in your area depending. So you'll be able to figure out which is which. All right, so listen, we've been on the broadcast for 2 hours. Is there anybody that needs to speak up before we go? If you've been sitting back listening and you're not really sure if you want to put yourself out there, but you're still listening and you're kind of on the fence, I'm telling you now, the lines are open. So go ahead and make that phone call. You never know where the phone call may lead you, where it may lead somebody else. So go ahead and take that step. The phone lines are open right now. And we'll talk with you when you come on. And remember, this broadcast is not an attempt to diagnose or prognose or provide any type of therapy. We're asking that you speak with a certified or licensed clinical hypnotherapist in your clinic. Oh my gosh, I'm bugging out right now. Speak with a mental health professional in your area. Speak with your primary care physician and get guided in the area that is going to help find the solution for you. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 800-273-8255. And remember, the National Suicide Prevention Hotline is a tool. It's a tool like any other tool, and you're dealing with human beings. So if you don't get what you need on the first phone call, you can hang up, you can call back in, because at the end of the day, this is about your life. This is about saving your life, getting your life on the track that you want it to go. So do what you need to do the things for you. All right? So if there is nobody else that needs to call in, then let me know. But I have the phone lines open. I'm going to leave them open for a little while longer. And then if no one needs to call in, then we're going to get out of here. Remember, I'm Tonya Tko. I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist. I use hypnosis to help people create lasting change inside of their lives. I have MP3s, very powerful hypnotherapeutic MP3s on my website to assist you in creating the change that you need inside of your life. So, all right. Okay, so Dutch is, instead of talking about themselves, talking about other people. And so really, Dutch, really the best person to concentrate on, because listen, this journey into living in your highest vibration and your highest calling is a lifelong journey that requires the bravery. Oh, I'm sorry about that. My niece is calling me because she's ready to start doing the work on the website. That's what I'm saying. I'm really happy. Thank you so much for that Cash App, because I'm going to be transferring that over to my niece right now. And so thank you all for coming out. Like I said, my website, Bruce is saying he loves the MP3. The MP3s are very powerful. Which MP3 do you have, Bruce? Do you have the Relax MP3, the Forgive MP3, the Stress Release MP3? I'm working on the Inner Child MP3 next. As a matter of fact, I may be I'm in the process of making sure that I'm writing out the script to be the most powerful script that it can be. So I'm working on that right now. So if there are no more phone calls, so Nymeria, the Relax MP3 you get for free in exchange for your email address. So when you sign up for the mailing list, you get the MP3 for free. If you go to my website, TonyaTko.com, there's a huge banner. There's a code there where you go to the website and you make the purchase there with the coupon code, makes it for free. As long as you keep the check mark on through the checkout process. And so Bruce has the stress release MP3. All right, so as long as you keep the check mark on during the checkout process, you'll be able to join the mailing list. You'll get the MP3 immediately. So right now it's 8 p.m. on the East Coast. There's somebody coming in from Poland. So you are all at different times. So if you would like the Relax MP3, you can go to my website now, TonyaTko.com. I have to do a better job of promoting the website. I'd be so focused on assisting people right here in the moment that I don't promote the website enough, but I definitely need to. So, and since there are no more phone calls, I'm going to turn off the, listen, if there is anybody that feels that they need to call in before I turn off the phone lines, if you feel that you need to call in and you're on the fence for whatever reason, put up the number 1. Put up the number 1 if you feel that you need to call in, but you're kind of on the fence. Maybe you need a little bit of nudging. Oh, my poor plants. Oh. Okay. It's having a little crisis back there. All right, so there's nobody. All right, good. So if nobody needs any more phone call in, I'm going to turn off the lines right now. And we are going to, I will see you all in the next video. I appreciate you all coming out. All right, the lines are off now. All right, perfect. So, thank you all for coming out. I appreciate you all coming through. This phone call was very helpful for me because it allows me to be in the process of assisting people. Okay? So thank you for allowing me to feel of service to you. All right, so thank you. And remember, go to my website and support, and I will see you all in the next video. Make sure that your bell notifications are turned on. I'm hoping to record a video sometime soon, but I'm like, with all of these deep emotional things that we're all going through, it just doesn't feel satisfying to me to create a video about a viral topic. So I appreciate being able to do these types of videos. I only wish that YouTube paid us for these videos. I wish that I was able to support myself on these videos, but I'm not. So because I'm not, we have to work on supporting the content that we love to see. If you all like this, consider joining and becoming a patron on my website and giving your monthly contribution that way. On the other hand, I am going to get out of here, and I will see you all in the next video. Tonya TKO, and I am out. Go out there and love one another, but most importantly, love yourself. And part of loving yourself is knowing when you're in crisis, knowing when you need help, and taking the steps when you have the mental wherewithal, when you have the mental fortitude to take those steps. Make sure that you take those steps and save your life. Remember, the suicide prevention hotline is in the details, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace. Thank you so much.